Hi FlossTube, it's Elisa. Quick service announcement because I know some people, I say it very quickly, so some people haven't caught it. My name is pronounced Elisa, as in email. So just think E-Lisa. So Elisa. Yeah, it's one of those names that people. It's pronounced the way it looks, literally. But a lot of times the name has been used to be pronounced different ways, like Alyssa or oh gosh, Alicia. I've gotten a few times in my life. So Elisa, that's how you pronounce my name. And I usually answer to any other iteration of it. Elisa, Elisha, Ellie. I went by Ellie for a while. That was kind of easier to let people know this is who I am. Anyway, that was my quick public service announcement on that. Yes, I haven't been too busy. I got some stitching done, you see, just a little bit. My daughter came home early because of complications between her and my parents. I'm not too happy about it, but what can you do? So she's off right now with her friend, so I am here doing a FlossTube video, and the cat is harassing the dog, if you can believe that. Anyway, he's a little squeaky, the dog. So if you hear that in the background, I'm sorry. See, this is my second start on this video, and it just seems like nothing is going right. Anyway, what I want to talk about today, a few different things. So, I got a teeny tiny bit of haul last week because I got the black Ada for this and the floss from Moe's, which I can't find where I put it now. The floss from Moe's for this project as well. This is, if you remember, this is my Stitching Out Stigma square. It's the Life is Complicated, or Being a Human is Complicated, Time to Be a Dragon, that I designed myself based off of an image I found online. And it's going quite well. I'm going to show you it right now. I'm just going to do things in order. There's no real order of things. I just have a bunch of stuff to talk about. First of all, I've been protecting it with this because Black Ada, I have two cats that are mostly white, and it's been a magnet for it. So I've had to resort to putting plastic on it when I'm not stitching. So my first, of course you're not going to be able to see anything. How about if I put this back here? That's a little bit better. Okay. So yeah, so of course the color is not true to life. They're gorgeous. The color is Vision from Moe's Sales Avengers line, which just is turning out beautiful. It reminds me of one of those, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're like a wax card, and it has like a bunch of random usually fluorescent colors behind it, and you kind of scratch the wax off to uncover the color underneath, and that's how you do art with it. That's the effect I was going for, and Vision delivered it completely. It looks fantastic. I mean, you can't even see it I have a few good pictures of it. I'll try to post a picture of it. But yes, it is beautiful. It is going so well. The back is actually really pretty too, because I'm doing it across. It's not up and down, but I'm doing it across. But it's giving me this really neat, like, woven texture on the back. It's really kind of cool. Yeah, really happy with that. It's going to take me forever. This was about 2 days of work. I didn't work yesterday. I had an appointment that took up most of my attention. And today I haven't worked yet because I was at another appointment that's taking up most of my attention. But this was 2 days. And I probably have about maybe about a sixth or an eighth of this first skein done. I've measured, this is going to come down to about here. And it's going to be like body here, and the rest of it's his wing, and then the tail. It's going to come up over here. And then the words are going to be here, and dragon is going to be across here. Which I'm not sure yet if I want to do, because dragon is going to intercept with this colors. And I really want to do dragon in gold, Krynic, because it... I thought the statement dragon pile of gold. I thought it was thematically appropriate. I'm going to cover this up real quick because it is really troublesome to pick all the white things off. So excuse if there's any crinkling. To get it on properly to be able to slide it on. So yes, I been working on this, and this is probably going to be my only whip until I have a significant dent in it. My idea of getting up to date on Storytime Sampler, not going to happen, and I'm okay with that, because I was finding, and I feel like there's other people, I think Letitia was saying this as well, that I was having trouble wanting to stitch because stitching was becoming it wasn't a hobby, fun time thing, it was a chore. And stitching should not be my chore. Stitching is what I do for relaxation and therapy, and everything else should not be a chore. So, I started this. It's one color. Just one color, back and forth. Back and forth. I don't even have to keep count. Oh, excuse me. I don't even have to keep counting anymore. All I have to do is see how far I need to go out here, how far I need to go out here, or if I need to go in. I just have to reference these two ends. There was a lot of counting in through here, trying to make sure all these counts were correct, but once I was assured that all these counts are correct, yeah. Stitching this is a dream. It's wonderful. Lots of fun. Lots of fun to stitch. So I actually got my stitchy bug back, which is awesome. I did start, ironically, I was desperate to do anything and to keep stitching, and I didn't know how long it would take to get that stuff. So I got this small pattern from Daily Cross Stitch, and sorry, my dogs can't see what I'm doing. And I had almost all the colors, only like 4 or 5 colors in it. Had all the colors available, so I just got it, and I decided to stitch it up because I had this spare piece of even weave. It's a little off-white, ivory, even weave. There's not much on it, actually. I think it goes like this. There's not much done on it yet. It's a Nintendo, it's an NES controller, or a Nintendo Entertainment System controller. And it has the words in red, Retro Gamer. And with my new job, or not job, my new schooling, this is very appropriate. I mean, this is how desperate, like, I just basically stuck it in here and cut along, like, this, I just needed to start stitching. I was like, how can I start stitching? I need something to stitch, and I was hoping that something small I could stitch up really quickly, and then hopefully feel some kind of accomplishment and get my stitchy bug back. Of course, the day after I started this arrived, or the Black Ada arrived, and then on the same day, or the next day, the Most Floss arrived. So I didn't work on this very much. I only worked on this for maybe an hour, if that. But it's definitely, it's a new whip, new start. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have done this. I have way too many right now, but I need something small to work on with all the big things I have to work on, because otherwise I'm going to lose it, and I don't want to, because there's so many things I want to do with cross stitch that I don't want to lose my momentum that I've been building. So, yes, so this is the Retro Gamer. And yes, that's probably going to be put away for a little while. Don't even know what I want to do with it. It was a nice, cute pattern to stitch up, and it was actually something that I could accomplish. That one's going to take me a lot longer. It has to be, my goal is for it to be finished and shipped out before I start school. which is going to be in October 12th. That was the other big news for today. Today I have officially enrolled in the video game design technologies course at Trias College in Toronto. Yay! I am very stoked about it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm kind of a little disappointed that it didn't start sooner, but I think waiting 2 months, actually now it's a little less than 2 months, shouldn't be that bad. So I'm really hoping it's going to fly very quickly so I can start. Okay, so I needed to get the tag that I wanted to do. It is the fun little tag by Carolina S. Hi, Carolina. Carolina or Carolina? I think it's Carolina, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen many different people do this tag, and it's an interesting set of questions, so I thought I would do it. Number 1, how do you arrange your floss you're using on a project? I think I mentioned this previously. I don't have a lot of stash. I'm just rebuilding, basically. I'm just building my stash right now, and especially because of certain things, it's going to remain pretty small for a while. But I have one whole box of DMC. There's a lot out of this. This is usually full when all my DMC colors are in here. This is usually full. You can see some of them are falling around. Anyway, so this is usually full of DMC, and these are all my DMC colors. I pick out the ones I need, the ones I'm working on, and I put them in my second floss box. And this is separated by different projects. Well, it does have, here is my Weeks Dye Works, but mostly it is, here is my project, my ongoing projects. Oh, there's some vision. Here, I'll show you how pretty this floss is I got from Moe's. This is a little bit I have left for my current. I bought 4 skeins. I'm really hoping it's going to be enough. But it goes from like this really pretty pink, and then it almost turns purple before it goes into this green, and then it goes to yellow, and it's very, very pretty. Very pretty colors. So I work out of this box. It's actually getting a little messy because I have several pieces for several projects in here that I probably just put away for now. But yeah, this is my working box. That's my storage box. So I move them between these two. Sometimes I'll kit something up in a plastic bag, but I haven't really been doing that because I find those plastic bags tend to wander. So, have you attempted to dye fabric? If so, what methods did you use? If not, is there any particular method you want to try? Yes. I would like to try to dye my own fabric for a few things. Maybe there's this really cool heart-shaped tie-dye that I've seen someone dye. I think it was linen with, and made this a really cool heart-shaped pattern inside it, and it looked really neat. Then there's the ice dyeing, which also gives that really, really mottled effect. I would like to try to, dye some pieces personally just to get the experience. I don't think I'd ever do anything with it because I don't think I have that kind of resourcefulness for working on my own. But I might do it to choose the pieces for myself, but couldn't find the right piece out there. If you use a needle threader, is there a specific type you prefer? I don't use a needle threader. I have used just little wire ones, mostly. I've seen the other full metal ones, which I kind of want to try. I only really need them, I find, if I'm using with metallics and stuff like that, because they're harder to thread. But usually I'm pretty good. If you use any type of frame to stitch, you stitch with the fabric over the frame or in the well? Well, this one is over the frame, as you can see. It has to be, well, no, it doesn't have to be. I guess I could do it under if I wanted to, but this one, when I kitted this one up, I did it in the well. Ow, I just stabbed myself. Wonderful. Am I bleeding? No, I'm good. That's why I like needle minders. I'm out of needle minders. I told you what happened to my other needle minder, didn't I? So I'm currently I'm waiting for my Gina's needle minders to show up. Hopefully they'll be here by this week. They need more needle minders because this is dangerous. But this one I set it up in the well specifically because I saw Michaela, I think that's your name. Please tell me that's your name. MN Chaos, FlossTuber, and she does it this way, and her reasonings make a lot of sense. If this falls, it falls here, and this doesn't actually touch the ground. And that makes a lot of sense. So I decided to try a small project in the well to see how I liked it. I also like the idea because one of my problems with Q-snaps is if I would stitch right to the edge, trying to turn it around and then pass your thread underneath, pass your tails underneath some stitches, it was very difficult to do so because you would end up in the edge and I would end up having to unclasp it and do it. So I'm hoping this works a lot better. So I will see. So I do both, I guess, is the best way to say it. Do you start your threads in the front or back of your projects? What methods do you use? It depends on how I'm stitching. Right now I'm doing a ton of pin head stitches, starts, because I'm practicing, well, for this one, because I can't fold the floss over and do a loop start, which I usually do the loop start from the front if it's a solid color, and I can fold it in half. I do a loop start from the front. This one, because of the variegation, and I need to go thing by thing. I'm sorry, my boyfriend is on the phone. I'm sorry if it gets a little loud. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Where was I? In the well. Oh, starting the threads in front or back of the project. Yeah, so when I have to use two threads like this, especially with variations, I'm finding the pin head start very, very, very useful. And I'm doing a bit of variation. I think Garrett mentioned this variation. Basically, for this one, what I've been doing is I'll start my bottom stitch, which for me goes from left to right. I'll start my stitch and I'll stitch half of it and then into the middle, and then I'll come up from there and stitch the rest of the half of it into the middle. So there isn't an extra stitch involved. In the end, though, I do stitch. I'll show you guys sometime. I do finish it off into the middle as it shows. And I'm finding they're really good. They just stay in place really well. I can start it with a very, very small tail and then clip off the tail really quickly. There's very little extra threads on the back, so I'm really liking the pinhead start. I don't like anything that makes me turn over my work. I would rather keep working from the front instead of keeping on turning things over. Especially this one. This one is a little bit cumbersome to turn over. Maybe if I get a stand, it'll be different. But anyway, so that is that. If you're a gritter, what is your preferred method of gritting? I am not a gritter. I've tried it once, and the pulling out the threads of the grit, albeit I didn't use the proper threads, what you should be using, like that, the one filament that everyone uses, like sulky or something it's called. I don't remember. Or fishing line, which is the other one I've heard used. I just used regular thread and it didn't pull out very easily, so it was a bit of a mess. And drying it on, I've heard too many horror stories about it not coming off or leaving yellow residue or stuff like that. So no, thank you. I'm fine with counting. I fudge up sometimes, and that's okay. I'm able to learn better, but I'm finding because I fudge up sometimes, it's made me a lot more careful in my counting. I rather count 5 times and make sure it's right than keep going and find out later it's wrong. So, what is your favorite ways to finish projects? I've only framed so far, which is fine. I like that. There's a few that I want to do, either pillows or cubes. I think I've talked about those in the previous ones. what was your first cross stitch milestone? My first cross stitch milestone is probably finishing the Hogwarts crest that I did last fall into this winter. It was the biggest project I ever completed, and it looked really good. And I was able to completely finish with a frame, and it made me feel proud, it made me feel fulfilled, it made me feel like I had accomplished something. And yeah, that's why I keep doing it, for that feeling. What is a stitch goal you have, something you want to conquer? Right now, my immediate goal, I would love to be able to finish one of my big projects that I have going. There's only 3 colors in this project, so it's not one of my big projects, but this is going to have my attention until I'm done. But I really do want to finish one of my other whips. That's my goal right now. Either the Sailor Moon, or the Storytime Sampler, or I'm not sure. But I definitely want to get a big one done. The Doctor Who, oh yeah, the Doctor Who, my Dr. Doll. I keep forgetting him because how annoyed I was when I put him away. And I think he's going to be coming out for the Doctor Who Whovians Unite Stitch Along on Stitch Mania. So that's going to be fun. That'd be fun to have a hangouts for that. Definitely. Yeah, so I want to finish something. That's what I want to conquer. I need to finish something else now, soon, to make me feel like I'm accomplishing something. If I keep starting stuff, it's just more stuff to finish, and nothing's ever getting finished, so. What is your silliest duh stitch moment? I don't know if I've had any of those. I had a few moments when I came back to stitching, and the whole idea of when I started stitching when I was really young, I didn't keep the X's going the right way. They just went whichever way they wanted to go. And the simple act of putting all the stitches in the right direction made such a difference to my stitching, and really became that aha moment for me. And from then on, I was, oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups apparently. I was searching for all the relevant tips and tricks that I could get. Sorry, I just got a little bit of hiccups. Tips and tricks I could find and tried them all. So that's how I found the loop start. That's how I heard about Fred Heaven. Parking I've heard about when I was just on a search for knowledge on how to make the best cross stitch. If you use paper charts, do you print at them at home or use a service? I don't use paper charts as much as I can. I would print them at home. Or no, I'd probably use a service. I'd probably go somewhere and get them printed, just if I needed color. But that's why I love digital, because I don't need to print it. I can have it wherever I want. So, and the zoom is always the best, and the color, and yeah, it's just, I prefer it. How do you mark on your paper charts if you use them? Like I said, I don't. I really regret the few that I have marked on. I had the beautiful full color pattern of the Hogwarts crest, and I marked on it all over with highlighter. So I would probably end up using highlighter, especially because I can still see the stuff underneath. So I can still stitch it if I wanted to after. But like I said, that's why I like digital. Is there a cross-stitch book you suggest? The one I would suggest is like the only one I have, and it's been recommended for the past few weeks, and I got it because of another stitcher's, and that is the Bewitching Cross Stitch by Joan Elliott. Although I saw the magical cross stitch that Michaela showed. I really hope your name's Michaela and I'm saying it right. and I want that one now too. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to start looking at more books just because it seems like you can get more patterns for less amount, which is always good. But I will see. Hold on. I just need to move this slightly so I can. There we go. Okay. So yes, I would suggest it if you haven't actually heard about it in the last, few weeks on FlossTube. Bewitching cross stitch. It's absolutely beautiful, and I want to do everything out of it. Is there anything that you find you are very nitpicky about when you cross stitch? Yes. I am very nitpicky about how my stitches look. I've learned not to pull too tight, because sometimes if you pull too tight or you come from the wrong angle, you end up squishing the cross at the top, and it's like short at the top and or wider at the bottom than at the top. I hate that. I hate when that happens. My X's need to look nice, and they need to be fluffy, and they need to be laying all the same. I railroad about 75% of the time. Most of the time I end up, if I'm stitching with two threads together off the same length, something I haven't folded over, I make sure that I separate them before I stitch with them, because I find that makes them lay more side to side and less like on top of each other. And that's what I like. I like a nice even laying flat, stitch. And I am a little bit nitpicky about that. Favorite LNS you visited while on a trip, if you've been to one? I haven't actually been to an LNS on a trip. I will definitely do so. My favorite LNS is local. I guess it's kind of a trip. She's not in the same city. She's in Port Credit, which is just outside of Toronto. And it's Gita's, which you will hear me talk about many times because I love it. It's a freaking amazing store. It's where I got the Black Ada from. I had it like next day. They shipped it, and I got it next day. And the shipping was super cheaper than anything I found online. There was no exchange rate, which was great. Sorry about that. We're having horrible weather. My allergies are out of control. Is there anything you do that you feel takes up a lot of time when you cross stitch, but is worth it in the end? I don't think so. I don't do anything that takes more time than anything else. I don't think so. It all takes as much time as it does. It took me a while to learn to stitch. My hair is not behaving today. It took me a while to learn to stitch two-handed. My left hand took a while to figure out where I was going with it. But as soon as I learned that, no, I've taught myself the right way to do it from the beginning, and I feel like that has helped as I'm learning, as I'm getting faster doing it in the right way. So I think that definitely helps. So that was the fun little tag. That is a fun little tag, Carolina. If you haven't seen it, I'll guess I'll link it down here below somewhere, and you can go do it too. There's a few other things I want to talk about. The first one is Secret Stitcher. So I've gotten a lot of interest for Secret Stitcher. I think we're up to like 35 people on the group right now, which is fantastic. The polls have been filling up. People have been answering them, which is great. And it seems like the most people want to do it in early 2016. So February, March time 2016. So that's great to know. That means that from here until then, when signups are officially open, I can do lots of promoting and lots of gathering. I know it might not, we might lose some people in the meantime, but this way I can really put it out there to as many people as possible. And hopefully, have this huge exchange that's international, but those are just my dreams. StitchyCon, I'm getting some interest in as well, which is fantastic. We've come up with a few things we need to do that need to be done definitely before we start working on, you know, when it's going to be or inviting people. One of those things is going to be testing out Hangouts and how it does various panel type things. So I'm hoping to maybe do some test panels, interviews with various either FlossTubers or, if I can, designers or dye maker or hand-dyed fabric makers, and maybe do some test panels in the meantime to see how it would work. So that's where StitchyCon and Secret Stitcher is at. Lots of interest, which I love. Thank you guys so much for taking interest in it. I definitely I am definitely happy that I decided to open it up for everyone to be involved in Secret Stitcher and StitchyCon, because I was considering doing it for like Stitchmania or other like Reddit or stuff like that, but nah, I'm just include everyone because it's better that way. Other than that, Stitching George Washington, we've gotten a few updates. So we've had wonderful pictures of the unboxing of the floss, which was so generously donated by Sullivan's USA, and the fabric, which was donated by Witch Elf Company, I believe. I would probably go anyway. I believe that's who it is. I'm going to double check because I definitely don't want to put the wrong information out there. I'm almost 100% sure that it is Witch Elf. I don't know. I can't find it. Darn. Okay. That's not good. Where is it? Those are pictures. Those are things. Those are that. Nope, not finding it. I'm going to try to find the frequently asked questions, and if it is not Wushelt, which I'm almost sure it is, I will definitely come back and correct it, and I'll put it down here who it is. I really wish I could find this information. Anyway, not the time right now. I am actually running out of time, so not going to bother with that again right now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's, you know, there's still a lot of work to get done before that got sent out. So hopefully so I'm not, you know, that's just in the background, but it's very exciting that we've gotten now the floss and the fabric, and that it's being all put together for us. So very exciting. And oh, the big news, I've surpassed 200 subscribers. I'm so stoked. Thank you guys all for subscribing to me. I think it's amazing that you want to hear me ramble on about my stitchiness and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm very elated. Unfortunately, at the moment, giveaway is not in the cards. I was supposed to be in school and have access to my student loans at this point, but because I changed programs, that's not going to happen until October. So definitely then I will be doing some kind of giveaway, probably something small for 200, but I definitely want, you know, to let you all know that, you know, your subscriptions really mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate that you take the time of your day to, you know, just hear what I have to say. So on that note, I'm going to go. I know I've forgotten something. I had to take this opportunity to get this done while my daughter was out, because when she gets home, there's no doing it. So yeah, I will see you guys later.